Hey everyone, welcome to all our YouTube viewers and our audio listeners. I'm Muskan from Sati, your affiliate companion. And thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode of AMA, Affiliate Marketing Answer, the show where you get to hear the answers to your oddly specific questions about affiliate marketing without any BS. And I'm so excited that our first guest for today is none other than Kim Biddle. She's the co-founder of Clutch Affiliate and one of the OGs of this industry. And 20 years of experience is no joke, folks. Kim has seen everything. She's built and scaled programs of all sizes and across all brand categories. And Kim, it is so awesome of you to say yes to this. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Before we dive into the questions, a quick explainer of the format of this show. So a while back, we went out, asking to all our community, to all our audience, if they had any questions about their affiliate program that they just couldn't get the answer to. And lo and behold, we got a ton of questions. We've picked up some of the juiciest ones, some of the tricky ones for Kim today, and we're gonna have her share her insights and expert advice for these, and we're gonna keep it very quick, specific, and actionable for all our listeners here. So yeah, that's the format of this show. And should we dive in, Kim? Are we all ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's roll.
So the first, so the first question that we have from our audience is this: what strategies have you found most effective for getting affiliates to post across multiple platforms rather than just one? So basically, how do you repurpose content across channels while maintaining a creator's authenticity?
Well, first of all, I think you need to incentivize them to do it. So, most creators will post on dual platforms, like let's say TikTok and Instagram. But if you want them to take it a little bit further, I think there has to be some more incentivizing. And I think authenticity is really found in the creator, and that's in the eye of the beholder as well, or the recruiter, if you will. So if you're recruiting that influencer, then you should have already really determined their authenticity with their content. So, if you're recruiting them into your
Mhm.
program, you've probably already determined that they have relevant and authentic content.
Absolutely. So incentive is one, but how do you go beyond like a commission, like a flat commission, or how do you structure that commission
Yeah,
to
great
to to
question.
incentivize them?
Great question. It's just like any that you have where you have a salary, you have this benefits. There's always little perks, right, that kind of get people excited about the job. It could be a computer, it could be multiple things, right? For
Mm-hmm.
creators, it's going to look like I'll give you an example. We have a beauty brand out of the UK, and we've
Mm-hmm.
designed their program where if the affiliates post about the brand twice a month, then they can choose a free product of their choice the following month. So they can continue to be a flush with product. This is a product that is slightly more expensive than, let's say, like a power bar or something like that. So it's definitely an incentive, incentivizes the affiliates to post more so they can get more of their favorite products for free.
That makes a great point. And we had a lot of questions about content formats as well. There's so many options out there currently. You have
Yeah.
TikTok Reels, you have stories, you have within those you have like tutorials and reviews and hauls. So one of the questions that we had was, since these formats are so difficult to compare because they all measure so differently, you have like views on stories and they don't last more than 24 hours, um, as opposed to like a reel which might work right now, or like maybe like the engagement might die a little later. So the question is like, because it's so difficult to compare these formats, how do I think about which ones to prioritize? And have you in your experience seen one work better than the other?
Absolutely. I mean, reels are top notch.
Hmm.
I think any kind of video is definitely going to trump a carousel post, a static post. I mean, that's just how people are consuming
Hmm.
um, to these days. So I also feel like sometimes long form content, like in the form of a blog, if, properly written and maybe SEO optimized can also be a real benefit. So, but I think video, and it really depends. Like, are you on YouTube? YouTube
Mhm.
Shorts do really well. Are you on Instagram? The Reels perform great. Reels paired with a story are always nice. So, and same with TikTok. So I think it really, really depends on the channel. And so, but I think, above all else, it's video.
So video first and then everything else.
Yeah.
Is there a way to maybe like a benchmark that we should look at, or okay, test with Instagram Reels first, then move to TikTok? Do you have a preference of platforms, or you think that okay, it depends on the
Well, great. That's a great question. I think you have to look at the earned media value. So, and that really goes to speak to the engagement that the creator will command from said video, right? So
Mhm.
it's basically what it is. It saves its likes, its comments
Yeah.
as it relates to their following. So sometimes we see creators that have like 1 million followers and really bad engagement. That's not, I'd rather have a smaller creator that has 10% engagement. So I think you have to look at all of those things,
Mhm.
as it relates to that.
Makes sense. And with Instagram changing algorithms so often, it's also hard for brands to like restructure what they're
Yes.
already doing.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes, that's correct. Um, you have to find a way to stand out. You have to find a way. I mean, I would also look at trends, what's trending, what's trending on TikTok, what's trending on Instagram.
mhm.
Can you subliminally also make some content? Like some of our some of our content that we've seen perform best is subliminal. It's not even mentioning the product, but the product is woven into their content.
Yeah.
And what we've discovered is we'll go back into the comments and say, okay, let's see how we want to investigate, like how did this creator do that? And basically we'll see people saying like, hey, what was that vitamin you were giving your toddler? And hey, and oh, I'll send you the link. Like it's very not in your face, but very subliminal because the creator's done such a good job of creating other content that's of value that um it really just carries over into their other pieces of content where people trust them and they want
Yeah.
to know, what are you using? What are what are the earrings that you have on? What is the vitamin? So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like following up with this, talking about great content, this was again a repetitive question here. A lot of folks wanted to know, especially if you're just starting out building your affiliate program. So they said, we have affiliates posting great content, but none of it is converting. Views are there and clicks are there, but sales are not. So how do I go about auditing this, and what do I look at first to fix this? Because ultimately every brand wants revenue here. So is there like a framework again that you have in mind that you use with your brands? What is like the first step of auditing, second, third, and how do you go about fixing this?
It's that's again a really great question and it's very thoughtful. And we think about these things all the time. So we all have to think about how we buy things online. You don't just see one post one time and you're like, oh my God, I'm totally buying that. Like not normally, right? Unless it's just sometimes, but it's very rare. It probably takes two, three, four, maybe even 5 times, maybe even more. So there's a
Mhm.
conditioning process that I think people need to be patient with and need to understand. If I'm introducing a new product to my audience that I'm personally using, my audience needs to understand what it's about. It needs to see it in my content more than one time. It needs to be there consistently because consistency is what's going to pay off. So that's what I think people really need to understand. Now, sometimes what I've come to understand is that you're going to have storytellers, you're going to have converters, you're going to have you're going to have people that are brand awareness people, all in your affiliate mix. It's going to all blend together. I think what you need to do is not stop recruiting people into your program. I think when you get to a certain point, you could dial it back.
Mhm.
Um, and then maybe what you can do is take a look at that piece of content and then look at other content that is converting versus content that isn't and try to understand, maybe work with the creator, give some tips and
Mhm.
say, hey, I think like maybe if you did this or that, and we could show you an example of what that looks like, you might be converting and making some sales and commissions. So
Yeah.
you have to be actively involved with your affiliates, and they're like salespeople. Salespeople need training sometimes. Not everybody is super skilled at doing it. Some people are, and some people aren't. Some people might just have a really great engaged audience and just might need a little coaching. So.
Mhm. Is there like a like maybe like a particular category of brand that has it easier when it comes to converting content online, or do you think that has nothing to do with it? It's just the content that speaks. Do you think category and then like average pricing of that product that has to do anything with conversions?
Yeah, so a lot goes into when you convert. And so if you're going to bring somebody to your website, that customer journey, in my opinion, needs to be frictionless. You can't be
Mhm.
have all these hoops and like, because like people are just they're gonna dip out. They're gonna like, I'm not giving all this information, number one. I mean, you should ask for some information, but not overly ask. You want to get them in and get the product in their hands. Like that's like first and foremost. So you want to make it fairly frictionless for them to get into your program. Of course, you want their email because you want to retarget to them. So that's golden. And don't hit them up with a $25 shipping fee. Don't do that. Don't, that's you will see abandoned carts all the way through. Like if you're putting it out there, have an offer that the affiliates are offering that is
Yeah.
nothing that's like on your website because they're making the effort to bring traffic to your site. So make that effort worth it for them. Give them a
Mhm.
free ship, give them a lower shipping cost. It depends on, you have to look at like what your average order volumes are. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
calculation that goes into that. So I can't really say like per category because like
Mhm.
health and beauty is going to be higher AOVs than maybe food and beverage.
Mhm.
So something like that. But I
Makes
just
sense.
think you need to have it teed up and ready to go. So
Yeah.
so
Then yeah, the experience has to be seamless, frictionless for both
yeah,
the customer, the affiliate.
right.
Absolutely aligned with that. Just like to follow up with this one, there's very interesting question. If an affiliate's content is already driving organic sales, is it worth putting ad spend behind it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, so a lot of programs that we run, what we'll start to look for in the content that's created, the user generated content, UGC, is we'll start to look for those for those stars that kind of stand out, the content that really stands out, that the brand aligns, it's very aligned with the brand, they find it relevant. We have a peanut butter company that we do that with. So each month we drop a campaign, and when we see certain pieces of content in that campaign, we're like, ooh, that would make a nice ad. Or that person really did a great job of going
Hmm.
into Sprouts and showing you on shelf. Let's make that an ad. And those ads convert well. They convert really
Hmm.
well. Whether it's whitelisting or, right from the creator's handle, or the brand is taking it and serving it, through their channels. So 100%.
Interesting. Like how do you structure attribution in this case, Kim? So like you have to pay on the sales that are generated, you have to pay a commission on that, but then you're also putting this ad spend behind it, and obviously you're going to convert customers from that ad spend as well. So how do you solve for it? It's going to get very messy, on your dashboard. So is there a particular way you look at it? How do you segment it?
Well, you can do one of two things. You can either pay the creator outright. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing. So, like, let's say that the brand is serving it from their channels. There'll be usage rights that you need to talk about, right? So you need to
Yep.
say, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars for 90 days to use this content in an ad. That's
Mm-hmm.
clean, done. That's it. If you're serving it from the creator's handle, you can do some kind of a hybrid type approach where you pay them, but also, and you put ad spend behind it, right? Through
Mm-hmm.
their, through their channel. and maybe their link is used so that they get the commissions on the sales. There's
Got
all
it.
different ways to structure it. You can get very creative with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. On like attribution, there was again a very interesting question. So this person said, my affiliates are posting. People are clearly discovering us through them, and I know that. But when somebody finally buys, it's usually after clicking a retargeting ad. So how do I build the internal case that my program is working? And because again, as you mentioned, that the customer journey is never linear, especially like in today's age where you see a post on Instagram, you go and see the same brand, maybe on Google or like your supermarket, and then you end up buying that product. So
Yeah.
it's not like a straight line ever. So attribution can get very messy very quickly. So how do you think that affiliate marketing managers can build internal case for the program that they're running?
It's called the halo effect. So
Mhm.
that's very common, especially when you're running multiple channels. So if you're running Amazon direct to consumer and a TikTok, or if you're just running direct to consumer and you're on Amazon, but you're not running maybe a program there, what's going to commonly happen? We all have friends that do this, right? I'm like, hey, check this product out. Oh, let me check if it's on Amazon. Like immediately people default
Yeah,
to that immediately. Um, that's why direct to consumer, you really have to have a great offer there, push it there. Obviously, margins are higher. People can discover it on TikTok and buy it on Amazon, discover it on TikTok, buy it on your site. There's going to, or in store, if you're in store, they could see it online. It's very tricky. It's not always controllable, and you have to
yeah,
understand that. A sale is a sale. Hard to track sometimes, but you have to be looking at the entire ecosystem. You have to be looking at the bigger picture. Where are you? So if you're just online and maybe in a few retail stores, you have to be monitoring your sales in store and of course your sales online. If you're on Amazon and you're also direct to consumer, of course, monitoring both of those channels when affiliate content gets pushed out. I mean, it's hard. It's definitely not easy. It's a little bit of the Wild West, especially if you have a code out there. Sometimes codes can get swiped by,
yeah,
we kind
yeah.
of have dialed back on the codes, honestly, and they're given out very sparingly unless you're with a platform that can really lock them down.
Mhm.
I feel like Safi has that like aspect
Yeah.
of things. So it's really important to have that type of protection because that attribution could get really messy.
Absolutely. I mean, code leaks is like one thing. Then you also have it can just get scraped from anywhere on the internet and
Yeah.
honey and like retail me not, and then you have affiliates bidding for your brand keywords. It's you like need an entire engine working for you to catch these frauds
Yeah.
and save
You
your
need to be a
attribution.
detective. Sometimes you need to be a little bit of a like forensic accountant or like a detective.
Yeah.
It requires that, but you try to minimize it. You try to minimize it as much as you can.
Mhm.
Consulting with an agency or consulting with an affiliate manager, like if you're running it in-house and you're having problems, you should probably consult somebody about it, and then or just have an audit. So there's just lots of things you can do to really just keep it to a minimum.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this was actually in my bank of questions. I didn't pick this up, but before, because you mentioned discount code, um, this was the question. Half our affiliates want a discount code, and half want a link. So we're running both, and it's messy to track. Is there a right answer here, or does it just depend? So,
Right. And some audiences respond better to a code rather than a
yeah,
link. And like if you happen to get a relationship with a podcast, a code is going to be
yeah.
great. And then in the show notes, they'll put a link and that's fine. But a code's easy to remember usually. Um, I think you just have to be really strategic about it. And you have to also on the back end in Shopify, you have to put some rules to those codes. You will have to
Mhm.
monitor it though. You'll have to monitor it. Like the code's only good for a one-time use. It can only have so many. There's lots of different like rules that you can put to codes in Shopify. Let's just take, for example. But you will still have to monitor it. I mean, it happens like if you let's say you have Awin and you have Safi, or even another platform, and you have codes and links. Usually, it's the codes that are going to be the problem. So you just have to really. keep an eye on it and then or change them frequently.
Mhm.
Um, I've also seen cases of where, and this is unfortunate, where affiliates will post their code on a coupon site. Not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You have to be on top of it. You just have to be on top of it. You can't, nothing in this world is like a set it and forget it type situation. It's just not. It's just
Correct.
not going to be that way. I mean, I think technology has come a long way with platforms where it's definitely helping out the affiliate manager so they don't have to do so much forensic accounting, if you will. So there's definitely there's that, but you're still going to have to pay attention and you're still going to have to look at your reports and you're going to have to look, especially if you have multiple platforms.
Yeah.
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 So
Absolutely. Awesome. I think that is our time. We said 15 minutes, and I think we were able to cover most of our questions within that. So yeah, that is our wrap on our very first episode of AMA with Kim. Thank you so much. I mean, you came in with no fluff and just like told it like it is, and that is exactly what this show is about. So I hope everybody listening in takes at least one thing back that they can improve within their affiliate program. And to all our audience members, thank you so much for your questions. We're going to keep the form open. There'll be a link in the description. So keep sending in your questions and we'll keep addressing them throughout this series. And anybody who wants to connect with Kim, we're going to leave her LinkedIn again down in the description. So reach out, say hi, chat more about your specific issues and concerns. And if this episode was useful, share it with one more person that you think would benefit from it, and subscribe, join our community, and that's how we'll grow. So thank you so much for your time, Kim, and to everybody
thank
listening.
you.
I will see you in the next one.
Yeah.